suffer. What a landing. I guess that's why Slate lets you fly the real thing, huh? I mean, yeah, after that I am ready to launch a ship into space and fly. Thank you for recognizing my real skill. This game is so pretty. Like, so pretty, but unfortunately my PC hates pretty, so I just had to turn down the graphics more. But personally, I don't think it really changes the effect that the visuals have on you. Like, it remains just as beautiful, if a little less polished, but that is the price I have to pay for playing a very good game. And that's the price you have to pay for clicking on an oven ASMR video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Next up, for conversation, we have Porphy. I think that's how you say it, Porphy. Heyo, hatchling. I hear you're leaving us to seek adventures amongst the stars. When you return, let's you, me, and Gossin open up a bottle of the good stuff. The good stuff is less delicious sap wine and more daunting digestive challenge. Another metaphor ruined in the name of scientific accuracy. Nevertheless, I do hope you enjoy your travels. Good luck. Why, thank you, Porphy. I really like the way you pick up information about the Harthians' little village through the conversations you have with them. Feels genuine to me, not like they're trying to explain the game at you. I love Nice. Hello there, Space Cadet. I hear you're leaving the crater today. If you meet any of the other travelers up there, remind them to take proper care of their instruments, won't you? Tell me about the travelers' instruments. Oh, sure. I made all of their instruments, you know. Let me see. There's Chert's drums, Rybeck's banjo, and Capro's flute, and Feldspar's harmonica, of course, though Feldspar's been missing for a long time. Sometimes it feels like just yesterday they were playing their harmonica around the campfire. Anyway, you hear music in space. That'll be one of the space program's other travelers. If you feel like company, you can always pull out your signal scope and track them down. I love the signal scope. Oh, hi Marl, so it's lunch day, huh? Hal's going to miss you. Speaking of launch day, I was thinking about it, and the platform those ships launch from is getting old. Isn't it about time you built a new, less flammable one? That big tree in the village would be the perfect choice. I wouldn't mind helping out the space program. Just say the word. Nice try. We all know you have it out for that tree. What? No. I just think it's in the way, and someone ought to chop it down, you know. Specifically me. You think this has to do with the time I fell out of it and broke my arm use a similar piece of technology for planet exploration a little further along. Now we talk to Rutile. You're actually blasting off in that thing, huh? I'm told my odds of survival are statistically quite high. Yeah, the space program's certainly come a long way. I should probably thank you for causing fewer flash fires than your predecessors. By the way, good luck with those retro rockets. Seems like the Hearthians have come a long way with their space program. This pilot seat, used by pioneering astronaut Feldspar, is all that remains of our inaugural flight into space. Although it's been argued such a distinction requires a breathtakingly liberal definition of flight, that day will nevertheless be remembered as a landmark achievement in Hearthian history. The rest of this area looks like leftover and old versions of more evolved Hearthian space tech. Seems like they've come a very long way with their program, and they're really proud of it. Although it also seems like they've been through quite a bit of trial and error, specifically in the fire and flames department. But all things considered, it seems like they're doing very well. Next, we talk to Galena, who has very little to say, and then Tefra. Hello, astronaut. If it isn't my favorite troublemaker. We wanted to play hide and seek, but Moraine won't let us borrow their signal scope because it's really delicate and not supposed to be thrown around like that. Hey, can we use your signal scope? Can we please? We'll even let you be it. Sorry, can't today. Oh, really? But we can't play without a signal scope. Play with us later, okay? I think I said I couldn't play because I wanted to keep this video under 2 hours, but now I regret it. I wish I had played. Fishing rhyme, fishing rhyme. Singing helps me pass the time. You're leaving the crater. Guess we'll all be a little busier without you around to lend a hand. That big water planet, Giant's Deep. That's where I'd go. Why's that? One time, after the rest of the village had left to sleep, and it was just the two of us sitting around the campfire, Gabbro told me about their first trip to Giant's Deep. They landed their ship easily enough in the waves, but couldn't see too far down on account of how murky the water was. I guess too dark. Gabbro wanted to see what lay beneath the surface, so they decided to travel deeper. They traveled down and down, but suddenly Gabbro couldn't go any further. Tell me more. I will. I was just pausing dramatically, as though exercising a will of its own. The water was refusing to let Gabbro go any deeper. It held Gabbro back, almost as if it were trying to protect them from something. And then, in the terrible darkness, Gabbro saw it. The tentacle of some hideous beast. I mean, that's what Gabbro said, anyway. Whatever it was, it freaked Gabbro out pretty good. Everyone wants to hear new stories at the village campfire, you know. Make sure you bring some back with you. I'll make a point of it. Thank you very much for telling me. So we could go to the observatory, but we have more exploring to do first. Specifically at the Zero-G cave. We get some lovely views of the village from above here. It's very, very nice to look at. So many stars. And as we make our way ghost matter is uniquely painful and will probably kill you. Don't complain to me if you hurt yourself by fooling around. Hornfells. Kind of scary, and I have no doubt we will be encountering it later on throughout our travels in space. Hey, come say hi to your old flight coach before you launch. I've got zero-G training set up if you want a refresher. Gauzen. Here we find Arcos. Hi, astronaut. You know the patch of ghost matter inside this fence? Gauzen said it used to be bigger when they were a hatchling, 'cause ghost matter evaporates. It just takes a super long time to go away. I hope there's still ghost matter in the village when I'm a grown-up. Ghost matter is awesome. You know, ghost matter is how Tektite lost their foot, right? I think I was trying to spook him off a little bit. Whoa, really? That is so cool. It's impossible to scare kids away sometimes. Fun fact, every one of the Harthians is named after a different mineral, and that's why some of their names might sound familiar. Oh, hello, astronaut. This is good weather for your launch, right? That's lucky. Any good sounds from space today? There are. My signal scope is set to the Outer Wilds Ventures frequency, so I'm listening to the Traveler's music. Last night, I heard a Rybex banjo coming from Brittle Hollow. I hope that means they're safe. I can hear different planets too. It depends on what time of day or night it is, since different planets are in the sky at different times. Signal scopes are cool, and they are so correct about that. I really, really enjoy this game mechanic. I'd play a whole game that is just this, and the music is so cute. Plus the idea of exploring space all alone, and the way that they keep in touch and remind each other that they're not alone is by playing music to each other. It's also later implied that there is radio contact between Timberhearth and the Harthians on the moon called the Attlerock, but still, playing and listening to each other's music to stave off the loneliness and the endlessness of space is very, very sweet. And I really, really enjoy using this throughout the game, or throughout the little time that I played, and I am very much looking forward to using it in the future. I think it's going to become more important for the story later on. I saw smoke coming from Young Park Crater up north, and I figured I should go check it out. You can use the scout launcher, just please don't break it while I'm gone. Tektite. Okay. East Nomai Ruins. South Quantum Grove Crater. Northwest Geyser Mountains. North Young Park Crater, where Tektite is. So this right here is a scout launcher. It's kind of similar to the satellite picture thing we were using earlier, except you get to launch this little scout, and it doesn't go into orbit, but it does go very, very far and very, very high. And you can take a bunch of pictures while it flies. So it's very handy for planet exploration and looking around in places where maybe you don't want to walk to, or maybe places that you can't walk on. But it's very cool, and I didn't use it a ton more in this video, but I'm looking forward to using so long as you're confident you can make ship repairs in space. One repaired satellite coming up. Cool. Get to it, and try not to concuss yourself right before your first launch. This descent is so cool, like the opposite of taking off into space, but the same effect with all of the glowing rocks acting like stars in the walls. So we're here to practice my ability to maneuver around a zero gravity area. And let me tell you, this is a little difficult to watch, but I did manage to complete this little area even while struggling with basic controls. I also managed to turn on my flashlight, so that's going to be very useful in the future. After playing Half-Life, for some reason I want every single game to have a flashlight that I can turn on with F on my keyboard, but not every game wants to be compatible with me. Anyway, let's talk to Tough here. Hey, nice of you to drop down. Give me the dirt. Just so we're clear, for some reason I fully thought my character was asking for like a handful of dirt. So I was confused by his response, but I was also a bit of a fool. He said some fresh dirt, not much happening down here lately. Let me think. Come to think of it, Tektite saw something crash outside the village crater earlier. That's new and different. Oh hey, how about that? Yeah, they were on Firewatch with the old scout launcher and saw smoke. So they went to check it out. Safety first, right? No, I'm kidding. I said that to Tektite once. Pretty rude how long they laughed for, if you ask me. Very goofy. We're on to fixing this satellite for Gossen. We descend into this spooky darkness. Fixing this false satellite was a whole other ordeal for me, especially because I didn't understand how to do it really. Like, I was pressing the right buttons, but I wasn't doing it right. I did eventually figure it out. This is just an example of the skills of a pro gamer at work. Obviously, a pro gamer kind of just floats around and is confused, but very much has the spirit of someone who wants to be doing something, but isn't quite there yet. So yeah, lots of floating around in here. In the 0G cave. 0G. As you can see, I'm just kind of like 0G maybe. 0G. Lift, lift, lift. Star, 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 star. Star, star, stars. Hello, Gaussian. Hello, hello, hello. Nicely done. Of course, it'll be a little more stressful when you're hurtling through space. But just remember your training and try not to hit anything big. I can see you're itching to get off this rock, so go get the launch codes from the observatory and get out of here already. Best of luck out there, and hey, try to avoid getting yourself killed now that I've put so much time into training you. Got it? Thank you, cousin. I do got it. I hope. I mean, that was rough, so maybe not, but I will do my best to not let you down. Finally, we head to the observatory to get the launch codes from Hornfells. But first, some fun stuff. Outer Wilds Ventures, Timberhearth's first and only space program, was founded to explore the farthest reaches of our solar system. Feldspar was the first Hearthian to be intentionally launched into space. They completed the first orbit around Timberhearth, and later made the first of what would be many landings on our moon, the Attlerock. Founding members of Outer Wilds Ventures, clockwise from top to left: Hornfells, Gaussian, Slate, and Feldspar. There they are, those four rascals. And then they have this big thanks to these additional founding members of Outer Wilds Ventures, without whom we would never have gotten off the ground. And then it lists the names of the FIG backers for this game. So that's cool. That's thoughtful. Hey, hey, it's my favorite astronaut. Launch day at last, huh, buddy? It's the translator tools. Inaugural flight 2. I'm so excited it's making me nauseous. Just think, you'll be able to translate any Nomai text you want, anywhere you are. The two of us put a lot of hours into inventing that tool, so don't break it, okay? Geez, do not break it. Ignore me, okay? I'm just nervous, and I'm not even the one going into space. How are you feeling? Excited? Good. You've only been waiting for this day since we were hatchlings. I can't wait to see all your training pay off. So, what's the dirt? You're here to see the new Nomai statue. New statue? You haven't heard. Gabbro brought it back with them from Giant Steep, and Hornfells just finished prepping it for display. This is it right here. Neat, huh? Makes me wish we could see what a real live Nomai looks like, but I guess this is as close as we'll ever get. Check it out. Looks like they had fur. Fur is weird. This is the first fully intact statue ever found, you know. And for how old it is, it's in great shape. Oh geez, I got a little carried away there. Go on, you have a ship to launch. Take care of yourself out there, you hear? This remarkably intact statue was carved by the Nomai, an ancient species who dwelled in our solar system thousands of years ago. This statue Interestingly, each branch tends to be written by a different author. Aside from the dwellings and structures they built, the Nomai also made art. This decorated pot was discovered on Brittle Hollow. Some ancient Nomai art depicts strange animals, foreign celestial objects, and other subjects that can't be found in our solar system, which makes us wonder whether the Nomai originated from elsewhere in the universe, or simply had vibrant imaginations. Were the Nomai born in our solar system, or were they born among other stars and planets? And if they were, how and why did they come here? These are just some of the questions we hope to answer through further xenoarchaeological expeditions. Xenoarchaeological. What you see here are parts of the Nomai skeleton. We can tell from their skulls that they possessed antlers, and quite unusually only 3 eyes. The Nomai body was most likely adapted for living exclusively on land. The differences in the Nomai's anatomy, such as their shockingly fragile bone structure, show us that Harthians couldn't have descended from Nomaian ancestors. It's not clear where the Nomai originated from, or why they disappeared. We hope to find more clues to this puzzle as we explore our solar system. The Nomai technology brought back from space by our astronauts has been a great boon to Outer Wilds ventures, allowing us to modify expedition gear in exciting and useful ways. For example, the Little Scout now boasts a warp retrieval capability that allows astronauts to recall their scouts almost instantly. This has dramatically reduced the number of scouts lost to the depths of space. Very, very interesting. This crystal was taken from a Nomai ruin on Brittle Hollow. It seems to create a local gravity distortion and was most likely used to traverse steep surfaces. Try it out. I really hope that we get to use this later on in the game. An anglerfish. This anglerfish specimen was found attached to the landing gear of one of our ships that flew close to dark bramble. It appears to be well suited to living in dark places with minimal atmosphere. Minimal atmosphere. Here's an interesting exhibit. Stars like our sun generate light and heat by fusing hydrogen and helium. As it grows older, the star runs out of hydrogen and starts to contract. As the star's core contracts, it gets hotter, causing the outer layers to expand. The star has become a red giant. When the core is hot enough, it starts to fuse helium into carbon. If a star is massive enough, it will continue to fuse carbon into even heavier elements like iron. Ultimately, the star will collapse under its own gravity and then explode in a violent event called a supernova. Based on Jert's observations, this will one day be the fate of our own sun. Then we have this outside exhibit, which is a very interesting one, dare I say the most fascinating out of everything we've seen so far. It reminds me a bit of the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. The strange rock moving around in this grotto appears to react to conscious observation. The level-headed among us realize there must be some sort of optical illusions at play. But Gabbro claims the rock exists in all possible states until it is observed, whatever that means. Whatever is actually happening. Both sides of this debate agree the effect is extremely creepy. I'm very curious about how they must have transported that, and where it came from, and how it got there. I'm very confused. Either way. Moving on. Watch closely. These balls move on their own. The ground is perfectly level, so what do you think causes this spooky motion? The answer is the moon. As it orbits our planet, the Attlerock's gravity pulls on objects from different directions. In fact, it's pulling on you right now. And that is the first level of the observatory. Some really interesting artifacts about the Nomai. And we can make our way to the top level. What I'm assuming is Hornfell's lab, just based on the way it looks. There's a very cool giant map of the solar system. We see Timberhearth and the Attlerock, the hourglass twins closest to the sun, Brittle Hollow, and Giant's Deep we've heard mentioned, and Dark Bramble, where that anglerfish came from. Hornfell's observations. This is incredible. At first I thought the points of light in this image were stars, but they're not. They are galaxies. And this image covers just a tiny patch of the whole sky, which means the universe contains at least 1,000 times more galaxies than we previously imagined. I think I need to sit down. This is odd. According to my redshift calculations, every single galaxy in this image is moving away from us. In fact, the farther away a galaxy is, the faster it appears to be moving away. It's almost as if the entire universe is expanding. But if that's true, was everything closer together in the past? And how far back can we extrapolate? Did the universe have a beginning? There you are. I just finished pre-flight observations, and local conditions are good. Time to get our new astronaut off the ground. And you'll be our first astronaut ever equipped with a Nomai translator tool. I confess I've been giddy all day just thinking about it. We're better equipped than ever to unravel the mysteries of the Nomai. You and Hal should be very proud of your work. Tell me, what's your plan once you're in space? I'm going to learn more about the Nomai. I might have guessed as much. No sense in making a translator tool if you're not going to use it to translate anything. We've barely scratched the surface of the Nomai writing in our solar system, so we still know very little about them. We've no idea if they originated here or traveled here or why they disappeared. That tool of yours should prove indispensable in solving the mysteries of this ancient species. Well then, looks like all that's left is to send you off. All in all, it's a fine day for a launch. I'm ready to get off this rock. Excellent. You'll be needing the launch codes then. Here they are. Best get off the ground before Slate makes any more modifications to your ship, eh? Good luck out there. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Thank you very much, Hornfells. Let's make our way out of the... What is happening right now? So, I never got this far in the game before, and I was extremely caught off guard by this. I'm not sure what happened, but I know that the Nomai statue eyes are now open, especially the third in the middle there. It turned to look right at me. The sign hasn't changed at all. It seems to me like it either scanned us or just looked through our recent memories. But my question is, why would it do that? Is it looking for something specific? I'm not sure. Let's talk to Hal about it. Hey, so did you get a good look at the Nomai statue? It definitely got a good look at me. It looked at me and opened its eyes. The statue is doing what? So its eyes opened, and then you saw images from your own memories and glowing lights flying around. You mean like a hallucination? Listen, no offense, but are you sure you're okay to launch, like, medically speaking? You know what? Don't worry about it. Maybe you should sit down for a bit and take it easy. I'd hate for anything bad to happen if you tried to launch while you're not feeling great. But hey, when you are ready, then you can make the most of our translator tool. I can't believe it's all grown up and leaving for space already. For real though, I'm glad you're the one carrying it and not like Ryback. They'd fall on it for sure. Say, if you want to do a short trip to just get your space legs under you, you could check out the ruins on Attlerock. I'd love to learn what those are. Good luck and safe flying. So basically, just like real life, I avoided telling Hal what is wrong and what actually happened for fear of being perceived as weirder than I already am. Let's just keep moving and head back to the ship. Oh, hi, Devro, what's up? Hello, astronaut. Are you going into space today? Are you going into space and never coming back like Feldspar did? What? Yeah, Hornfell says Feldspar went away into space and didn't come back. Hornfell says Feldspar was the best pilot ever, but no one knows what happened to them. Hornfells probably shouldn't be telling you stuff like that. Hornfell says that too. But if Feldspar disappeared, you might disappear too, right? You're not as good as Feldspar, so you should be really careful not to get lost. Well, thank you, Devra. I will do my very best not to die or get lost in the vastness of space. Now let's have our pre-flight marshmallow with my main Hearthian slate. And let's tell him we're ready to go. Looks like you're ready for takeoff. The excitement of the launch is fun and all, but I can't wait to get back to working on the new ship. We're working on fixing the autopilot's avoidance system for this one. Oh, sorry. All right, we've said our goodbyes. We've gotten the launch codes. There is now nothing stopping us from starting our first and hopefully not final exploration of the solar system. Let's find some Nomai stuff because I think they're really cool so far, and their language system seems really, really interesting to me. I'm looking forward to translating many, many ruins of theirs, as many as I can. The interior design of this ship is super cute. I was saying earlier that the Hearthians seem really proud of how much their space program has evolved, but then when you get in the ship, it looks like it's all been kind of fused together. The base poster is taped to the wall. Little to no instruction. Gives a very nice kind of lived-in vibe. It's very comforting. Timber Hearth Village, the only Hearthian village, as well as the main source of explosions on this planet. The Nomai statue in the observatory opened its eyes and looked at me. I saw strange glowing lights and my own memories flash before my eyes. Zero-G Cave. A cave at the very center of Timber Hearth, used by Outer Wilds Ventures to train new astronauts. I successfully repaired another satellite for Gaussen. The Attlerock Lunar Ruins. I hear there are Nomai ruins somewhere on the Attlerock. No one knows what they are or why they were built. It seems obvious to me. I want to go to the Attlerock first. So we have to attempt liftoff. Let's also all keep in mind my brilliant navigation of that drone from earlier and my stunning maneuverability in the zero-G cave. And let's have some grace. I honestly probably should have just landed on another area of Timber Hearth instead of trying to go to another place so quickly, because I clearly still have not mastered these controls, and so I just kind of manage to smash into Timber Hearth a bit. Just a little smash that I totally did on purpose. That was entirely on purpose. Obviously, I was just trying to get my bearings and find the Attlerock, so that we can look at the Nomai ruins. So yeah. So we're trying to find a place to land here, but I think I can see a little camp, so I was trying to land beside it, but then I just kinda did this instead. I don't have a real excuse for what's going on here. This poor Arthian is just like getting random spaceship junk in their face. Anyway, I managed to land a little bit relatively well. Not very well, but like alright. It's okay, I definitely landed. There's no arguing that. And then, right here, again, no excuse. I guess my neurons just didn't even fire fast enough. I guess they didn't fire in time. There is nothing that could have told me that the Attlerock had a breathable atmosphere. I guess I saw someone sitting around a fire and I was like, okay, but still, look at it. Like, when we see the Attlerock again, tell me if it looks like it has a breathable atmosphere to you. Let me know in the comments. Either way, that was just another example of my pro skill as a gamer, but because of my ineptitude, we get to see this. Whoa, hold up. You're going to want to get the launch codes from the observatory first. I already got them from the observatory, remember? I'm sorry for gaslighting you, Slate, nothing personal. Huh, must be inhaling more fumes than I realized. That stuff is potent. Well, if you've got the codes, I'm not gonna stop you. Good luck, and take care of that ship. So, we take our lift up, and we're back on the ship in no time, with only minimal confusion, but the same amount of enthusiasm to explore the solar system as before. So yeah, it appears we are in some kind of time loop, or something death loop. I'm not sure yet. We'll see as time goes on. I wanted to just wear my spacesuit while piloting the ship. It would be much harder to walk off the ship and die from asphyxiation. Asphyxiation. But the game assumes I am smarter than that, I think, which I appreciate and I'm grateful for, but I am kind of always goofing things up. So anyway, we completed our liftoff and even our landing with only a minimal amount of turbulence. So I'm sorry for that, folks. Hopefully things will get better as time goes on. We see this little poster about the little scout. See beyond the horizon. Illuminate dark areas. Detect hazards. And test the environment. We have a successful departation from the ship with no asphyxiation research notes, property of Chert. This is an old crater. The next thing is that the composition of the samples I took from the impact site matches the composition of the ice on the outskirts of Dark Bramble. I'd posit the Attlerock was hit with a piece of the planet that used to be where Dark Bramble now lies. To follow up on, maybe there are more fragments of the old planet Dark Bramble destroyed on other astral bodies in the solar system. We also refuel our jetpack here. But very interesting, part of another planet is on this moon. All that dark ice that's coming up in large chunks and shards from the surface are from Dark Bramble. Dark Bramble, Dark Bramble, Dark Bramble. We see Timber Hearth in the background as we come up to this little wooden structure that I miss landing on entirely, but my recovery is okay, so it's okay. Esker's signal scope log. Day 48. Still not picking up Rybeck's banjo from Brittle Hollow. I'm sure they're fine, but I'll feel better once I can hear their music. Day 51. Listened to Chert play for a while today. Unrelated. Someone should tell Porphy and Gossin their flirting is not subtle from an aerial perspective. Day 55. Banjo music is coming in loud and clear today. Sounds like Rybeck's doing okay. That oaf. I was worried. Day 63. Today I thought I heard something strange. I don't know, it was probably nothing. Day 70. No, it's back again today too. Something strange is coming from Timber Hearth. Day 76. Okay, I know this is crazy, but the sound from Timber Hearth sounds exactly like Feldspar's harmonica. But Feldspar disappeared in space ages ago. It can't be them. Day 88. It's still here. This is creepy. Maybe my signal scope is broken. I'd better talk to Nice. I was already suspecting this, but I don't think Feldspar is as missing and lost in space as everyone says they are. But we'll just have to keep exploring to find out. You can hear a harmonica now as I take out my signal scope. I'll try to keep it quiet though. We also hear Rybeck's banjo from Brittle Hollow, Chert's drums from the Hourglass Twins, and I could just make out Gabbro's flute music coming from Giants Deep. Very cool. I really like that. I can't wait to go to those areas, to those planets, excuse me, and go find our fellow space explorers and astronauts. Quick trip to the ship to refill the old O2 tank and then back out to exploring. And up here we find a little settlement and some trees, so I didn't actually have to refill my O2 tank at the ship. And we meet none other than Esker. Oh hey, it's you. Ground control didn't tell me you were launching. Long time no see. Actually, I guess it's been a long time since I've seen anyone. Don't the other travelers come by the Lunar outpost? Saw more traffic back when our ships were less sophisticated and needed more repairs. Nowadays, it's mostly used to keep a set of eyes on things. Sometimes Chert comes by to say hi, but Gabbro is Gabbro, and you know how Rybeck feels about unnecessary space flight. Don't go, anything else you wanted to ask? Was that you whistling? Probably, or actually definitely. The other travelers carry instruments so they don't bother whistling. You can pick up their music with a is the North Pole. Great reception. The North Pole is marked in red on your mini-map, but the Attlerock is a pretty small moon, really. Just go north. You can't miss it. Seems lonely up here. A little. I'm in touch with ground control. Hornfells and Gossin mostly. And they radio up to chat now and then. And when ground control forgets I'm up here, and they usually do, I launch my little scout at the village. They forgot about you. I don't blame them. For one, I don't check in as often as the other travelers, since I'm always in one place. And it's not so bad up here, really. At least it's peaceful and quiet. You don't always get that in our solar system, let alone in the village. What is this place? Ah, very funny. Oh, stars above, you're serious, aren't you? That's just depressing. Welcome to the Lunar outpost, which apparently the space program doesn't bother to teach anyone anymore. When we first started Outer Wilds, travelers used to bring their ships here all the time for repairs. Our spacefaring technology has improved loads since then, but the older ships tended to, fall apart a lot. Like, more than they do now. Using the outpost cut down on the number of launches and landings taking place in the village, and also the number of fires. Nowadays, though, it's mostly just me up here, raising saplings from timber hearth and keeping an eye on things. Talk to you later, Esker. So, I love Esker. I love that they're all playing the same melody too. I wonder what it would sound like to hear all of them play at the same time. And I wonder if there will be a time where you can somehow line up all their signals and listen to them play all together. That would be really cool, in my opinion. That's so funny, though, that they just have someone, like, on the moon at all times. And they hikey forgot that they're there. Poor Esker. That's not cool. We get to see this flag. I think we saw a picture of it down on Timber Hearth. I'm not sure, though. We also get this crashed, or broken ship in the remains of what I assume is maybe like the first landing on this planet. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I am just really loving wandering around in this game. It's tons of fun. I love a game where I can wander around and still kind of feel like I'm accomplishing something, even though I'm just like walking around. Looks like we found something up here, though. I'm sure this must be Nomai related. I can, just from like looking at it, it looks like it's not Hearthian. And I can manipulate this glowing ball, which rotates these like wall things. I just can't really determine what it's for. It looks like maybe it's supposed to like line up the planets or something. I don't know. I put it in all the different things, but I don't think it actually made a difference. I think I'm just using it wrong, but maybe later I will be able to figure out this mysterious Nomai device. Nomai. On the Attlerock. I really like that name for a moon. Attlerock. Yeah, so now everything is basically just spinning. I don't know, everything is spinning. And I wanted to look at that comet instead of focusing on this confusing spinning thing. Hopefully I can land on that comet at some point later on, but for now, I will descend into these ruins and get to actually use my Nomai language deciphering device for signals from the sun, Giant's Deep, and Brittle Hollow. However, something strange is happening when I ask the eye signal locator to follow the eye's signal. The device's indicator rotates wildly and never points in just one direction. Now from Thatch. This is a curious result. It's possible the eye has stopped calling out its signal. Felix. I see. I most likely calibrated the locator incorrectly. Privet, my apprentice, and I will make adjustments and try again. An update. Disappointingly, everything is correctly calibrated after all. It saddens me to posit this, my friends, but I believe this locator cannot detect the eye signal. We would need to build a more sensitive device if we want to locate the eye of the universe. Then we will build it. Don't lose hope, Kasava. Our search for the eye is what brought our clan to this place. We won't give up so easily. Very, very interesting. I really love that form of writing and the kind of spinning things on it. From the translator, I don't really know what to call them, but they're a little hypnotizing in a way. At least I think they're a little hypnotizing. The way that they kind of circle around. We have to find a scroll, a Nomai scroll, to fit into this wall here. Now we can read more stuff from Thatch. Where should this new, more sophisticated locator be built? It may need to be larger than this eye signal locator is. Anona and those of us originally stranded on Ember Twin built a quantum moon locator there, but the heat of the sun made its construction challenging. I wouldn't recommend building on that planet. The southern glacier on Brittle Hollow has ample available space. I could construct a new building to house this proposed locator. Yes, let's build there. I imagined our young friend Connoy would enjoy that immensely. He's always held a great interest in the eye, especially for a child born so long after the crash. I will begin construction on Brittle Hollow's South Pole immediately then. Very interesting stuff. Another recording. Okay, wow. Wow, I've seen this ruined in other travelers' pictures, but seeing it for myself, it's really old, isn't it? But wow, this is the coolest day of my life. Okay, time for some official notes. So this is some kind of Nomai locator. It can point out the different planets, which is incredibly cool, by the way, but from what little I can understand of the writing here, I think it was built to try to find something specific. I'm not sure. I also was able to translate something about the South Pole of Brittle Hollow, so I'll fly there to see if I can learn more. Yep, just gonna get back in the old ship and take off. Totally safe. Mostly. Oh, stars above. So I think that last recording there is from Rybeck with the banjo. Well then, that was very eye-opening, to say the least. I really, really need to know more about the Nomai, and I really need to follow in Rybeck's footsteps and head to Brittle Hollow, because I need to know what's going on. It seems like they're trying to find something called the Eye of the Universe, whatever that is. And it seems also like there was a smidge of history about the Nomai there, talking about a crash and being stranded on a planet. So maybe they came to this solar system by mistake. Who knows, they crashed here or something. Eye signal locator, a Nomai device created to pinpoint the sources of distant signals. solar system. Esker uses their signal scope here to keep tabs on the other travelers. Esker's camp. Esker is growing a crop of trees at their camp. They seem to be doing okay, but they've probably been alone on the moon for too long. Harmonica signal. Esker's signal scope log reports harmonica music coming from somewhere on Timber Hearth. They claim it sounds just like Feldspar's harmonica, but Feldspar disappeared in space ages ago. Rybeck headed to Brittle Hollow to investigate something the Nomai were doing at the South Pole. The Nomai decided to build a larger, more sophisticated eye signal locator on Brittle Hollow's South Pole, called the Southern Observatory here. The Southern Observatory, and that's where I'm gonna go. According to the ship notes, that's where Rybeck went, to Brittle Hollow in search of the second Nomai eye signal locator. So I wanted to head to Brittle Hollow, but I'm still struggling with the controls of the ship. So I was just trying to spot it out there in the solar system. I know I look like I'm just kind of floating around with no clue of what's going on, and that's because I did have very little clue of what I was doing. And I was just trying to find the right planet. Brittle Hollow looks very interesting, though. It looks like it's kind of split up almost into two parts. Hollow's lantern and the actual planet itself, Brittle Hollow. So yeah, the autopilot was truly saving my life here. I also kept, for some reason, I kept pressing the button to get out of the pilot seat. I'm not sure. I guess I thought it was for something else. Either way, I am making my way to Brittle Hollow. I really, really love the naming conventions of things in this game. I don't know. It all just feels so appropriate. The naming, at least the character names, the planet names, everything else. Obviously, a lot of love and care was put into this game, and I think that's very clear, which is always a really, really nice feeling to get from a new game. From playing a new game, it's always nice to know that there was love, obviously, put into it. Here I am, exiting my pilot seat in the middle of trying to fly and land on a planet, failing to get back in my pilot seat and slowly drifting away. Exactly what I want to do. You can see a really good view of Brittle's Hollow, though, or just Brittle Hollow, not Brittle's. Brittle Hollow. It's very nice. It looks to be like a planet that is kind of looks like the core is exposed, which is very hard for me to understand, but extremely, extremely cool to look at. It looks like it's breaking apart into many different pieces, and I wonder if that was because of someone or something, or if it's just the natural progression of this planet. I don't know, space is weird, anything can happen out there. Here I am landing, not very gracefully, but I did land, and then I immediately had to do some repairs on my ship because I keep smashing my ship into the surface of planets. But I got there eventually, and that's what matters, okay? Brittle Hollow is kind of spooky, though. I'm a little scared of traversing on it. do get of this planet looks super interesting. Although I feel like I should be heading inside down there. 'Cause that looks to me where, like, I'll probably get the most answers to the questions I have. I like that there is this one tree. It's a dead tree, so it doesn't work for O2. But, at some point someone was trying to... At some point there was vegetation on this planet. It looks like there's something, like, almost man-made, or perhaps Nomai made, in the kind of center of the planet there. Which I am very much looking forward to exploring, but like I said, the longer I was here, the more I was like, oh, I don't think I'm ready for this yet. So, we will probably be heading back to the ship and heading back to Timberhearth or to the Attlerock to learn more there about the Nomai ruins there. Instead of coming here, it seems like a little more advanced for our skill level, for my specific skill level. But I wanted to send out my little scout to see if I could look at different parts of the surface, and then my ship kind of fell in a hole. I think what actually happened is that the ground gave out below it, and then I jumped in to try and save it, kind of like just lift off and get ourselves out of there, but no, it's all over for me. I'll try to turn, that was really, really bright. I'll try to turn that down when I'm editing, because that's way too bright. So yeah, basically I died twice and restarted my loop twice. I'm convinced now that this is kind of like a death loop. You just keep going around every time you die. But either way, it's very cool and I'm very much enjoying this. So I've learned my lesson with Brittle Hollow for now. We're not going to be going back there for a while until I get a better handle of the game. We briefly see Slate and then we're back up. But I do think that that will be the end of this video. For now, I have a very good feeling that I am really going to enjoy this game. The more that I play it, I'm really, really loving what I've learned about the Hearthians, and I really want to explore Timberhearth more as I progress. That's probably what I'll do next. But mostly, I'm very excited to unravel the mysteries of the Nomai and what they were searching for in the solar system. And of course, I want to find Feldspar, and I'm very sure that I will towards the end of this game, probably. I'm looking forward to it, and if you are interested in seeing my progress with this game, let me know in the comments and I'll make another video on it. But also let me know if there is anything else you want to see, any other games, or lore, or anything. I am open. I really, 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 really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that I will see you in the next one too. Have a great day, or a great night, or whatever time it is for you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.